How do the examiners give you instructions in the driving test? I'm Omid, a driving instructor at EMI Driving School. Okay, so I put the address in GPS and I just want you to follow the address from GPS. No, don't worry, this is not how the examiners give you instructions. Okay, so let's drive to Cultural Center in South Bank. No, don't worry, this is not the way either. Keep on watching to know exactly how the examiners give you instruction in a driving test. Turn right. Turn left. Turning left. The examiners give instructions well in advance and also they use hand gestures. Sometimes some students they get very nervous and they mix up their left and right, so just make sure you follow their hands and you know exactly which direction they want you to go. First street, turn left. Sometimes the road ahead is bending, so there is no need for indicator. We just follow the bend and we don't ask the examiner, oh, where do you want me to go here? At the intersection, turning right. The end of the road, turning right. And we just follow the road. Sometimes the examiners tell you to follow the road and sometimes they don't. Either way, just follow the road, and examiners they tell you to turn left or right if they want to. At the end of this road, turning right. Okay, we turn left here. At the end of this road, we go right. Intersection, we turn right. Second intersection, turn right. These kinds of instructions we need to be very careful. So the examiner said at the second intersection, turn right. So this is the first intersection. We don't turn right here. We move up until the second intersection, and at the second intersection we turn right, which is this one here. Half of the driving test is listening carefully. Second street, turn right. So the same kind of instruction, just using street instead of intersection. If you approach an intersection like this and the examiners they don't tell you anything, just keep going straight through the intersection. And if you come across a situation like this where there is a one-way sign, don't ask any questions from the driving examiner, just put the left indicator on and simply turn left. We go straight through the traffic lights. And sometimes the examiners tell you something like this, and obviously it doesn't mean that go straight to the red light. You need to check the traffic light and proceed at the appropriate time. At the lights, turn left. At the traffic lights, let's turn left. At the set of traffic lights, turning left. If it rains during the driving test, it's your responsibility to activate the wipers, so make sure you know exactly how to do that. At the traffic lights, we turn right. Sometimes the examiners tell you we turn right at the traffic lights, so making sure we don't turn at the first street, we look ahead, find the traffic lights, and we turn right at the traffic lights. There's a difference between traffic lights and street. Second traffic lights, turning right. So two things here. If you're in the left lane and the examiner asks you to turn right at the second traffic lights, make sure you change lane to the right as soon as you can. And I don't mean to change lane all of a sudden and dangerously, but safely. And second, the examiner says at the second traffic lights, so we make sure we pass the first one and we turn right at the second traffic lights. And if the examiner doesn't give you any instructions at the traffic lights, it means just keep going straight through the traffic lights. So for example, at this traffic lights, this lane is going right, so we make sure we don't go to that lane and we make sure we stay in this lane, which is going straight. In case your lane is blocked by some stationary cars like here, just change your lane to the right and stay away from the parked cars. Let's change lane to the left. When it is safe to do so, change lane to the right. At the roundabout, let's turn left. We go straight to the roundabout, taking the second exit. On the roundabouts, we start counting the exits from the left hand side. So in this case, this is the first one which we are not supposed to go to, and this is the second one. Turn right at the roundabout, third exit. The examiners might not always tell you first, second or third exit at the roundabouts, so just make sure you see the big picture and you know exactly where you're supposed to go. Okay, so as you notice, the instructions are very clear. Here there are 5 tips in regards to the examiner's instruction for your driving test. 1. It is absolutely fine to ask the examiners to repeat the instructions. So if they tell you to do something, turn left or right or whatever, and you don't quite get it, you can ask them and they happily repeat the instructions again. 2. If English is your second language and you have difficulty, especially with listening, you can talk about that with the examiner just before your test. Just tell them that English is my second language, and if you can please talk a little bit slower, and they will do that as well. So they are very clear with the instructions, but they are more careful if you tell them about this right at the start of the test. 3. If your English is not great and it makes you nervous that you might not understand some examiner's instructions, you can ask for an interpreter. As soon as you book your driving test, just let the transport office know that you need an interpreter, and they organize an interpreter for your test on the day of your driving test. The interpreting service is free of charge and doesn't cost you anything. The interpreter is someone who is from your country or from your language background, who sits at the back of the car and interprets the examiner's instructions to your native language, or if you want to talk to the examiner, say something to the examiner, they interpret your words to English for the examiner as well. This way you don't have to worry about English and you can just focus on your driving test. 4. The examiners are not going to give you any illegal instructions. So if they ask you to turn right here, it is possible to turn right. If they ask you to do a U-turn here, it is possible to do a U-turn. And number 5, the examiners are not going to trick you in any way. So I remember hearing some stories from some of my overseas students that they were saying back in their countries, when they go for the driving test, the examiner, they ask them, for example, to pull over beside the road, and they ask them, okay, push the horn for me please, and when they push the horn, they show them, okay, there's a no horn sign here, fail, why did you do that? This is not going to happen here. The examiners are not going to trick you at all. So I hope this video helps you to clear some of the worries that you might have about driving examiner's instructions in your driving test. If you'd like to see more videos like this, subscribe to this channel, press the bell icon, and select all to receive notifications for any new videos as soon as they come out. Also, if you like to be surrounded by a supportive community of learners from all over Australia, feel free to join our private Facebook group, Driving Test Support Australia, where you can ask your questions in a judgment-free zone. There is a link to that group in the video description below. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I put the address, this address in GPS, and you just follow the address. That's good.